29 and I find myself wondering, what did happen to the last 10? I ran away with my life, fast forward, never turn back again. It's kind of funny that the more we pass time, the more we need to set them rewind. And 19 was the year I had to leave you, but now I'm seeing all the signs. Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you. Is this really happening? I can't be too sure, but one day I'll be yours again. Life lessons come one in a dozen. The other 11 give something from nothing. I sit here looking for an answer. Maybe the biggest question was in the last chapter. You gave me the soul I have today. Without you I never could have moved away. But now I see what you teach. I do believe I always should have stayed. Yeah. Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you. Is this really happening? I can't be too sure, but one day I'll be yours again. One day I'll be One day I'll be yours. I'll be
Hey guys, how are we today? I'm so glad to see all of you. And Trista, I'm so glad that you can join us today. We've been missing you. And you too, Debbie. How are you? Is it hot your way today? And neat. It's so good to see all you guys. I know that the you guys have been busy, and I'll be glad to have you guys back when the trial's over. Um but you guys let us know if they get a verdict. There's something that I wanted to talk to you guys about at the beginning. It's kind of something personal that I've been dealing with, but I thought that I could talk to you guys, and maybe you guys have went through something similar. But you guys know that, well, it was in October last year, so October 2023, I started posting every single week. Even before I started using my channel, I posted my prayer request posts, and it was a place I tried to give you guys inspiration, and I also tried to and you guys mostly inspire me with your comments and things like that. But I also wanted, hey Wolfie, how are you? It's good to see you. Most of all, I wanted it to be a place that if somebody needed specific prayers that week, that they could come and post, and then we all could pray about it. But you guys know, I think it's been almost a month now that there was a really bad tornado in my holler, right? Hey, Jen, good to see you. That's okay. Um, And I haven't been questioning my faith, not at all, because, I love the Lord and Jesus, and I know they're real and everything. But it just felt bad for me to post prayers and thank God, that me and my mama were alive and that we were okay. So I've just been having trouble with that, and I was talking to ChatGPT, and they said, it could be survivor's guilt. And so I think that is a real thing, you guys. So, but I am working on it in my own time, and I will be back for those. They mean a lot to me, but I just wanted to talk to you guys about it and explain why there hasn't been one in a few weeks. You guys feel me? Um, so yeah, but today, you guys, what is going on? Okay, first of all, the last 2 weeks we spoke about Travis Decker, right? And I don't think there's any updates. The last time we were here, I read shortly after that they had seen they had seen a hiker that was trying to stay away from people, and he would hide when the helicopter went by. And so they were almost positive that it was him, and then I haven't heard anything else since then. So I really don't know, you guys. I've been keeping up with that, and then just this weekend, all the legislators and things like that. I'm so glad that they caught that guy. He was and I've been keeping up with it on my own, but you guys know how it is. That was definitely a true crime, but you guys know how it is talking about anything political. It caused division between my friends, and I don't like that. And so I'm glad that I was looking into the victims like I always do, and they were really really good people. But I did hear today that that the two that were in the hospital, that they woke up, so that's great. Um, but today, you guys, it's what I should have titled this. What the hell is going on in Arizona? Okay, you guys know that Emily Pike. We've been following her case since the beginning, and she was found in Gila County. And the case that I'm going to talk to you guys about today, it was actually on the corner of Gila County, and the 911 call actually came in from Gila County, but it's Maricopa County has taken the lead. So it's in the same county, and these are teenagers too, you guys. Three teenagers passed away in the national forest since February, and all unsolved. So, oh, that's okay, Aaron. It's so good to see you. How are you? And also, first of all, you guys, when I was looking into, oh, also, guys, my brain is moving faster than my mouth again. Okay, so today I'm going to actually talk to you about two cases. So, the two today, Pandora and Evan, their case is unsolved. And they were found the 27th, but their autopsy actually says they were killed on the 26th. But there's also another crime of Pandora and Evan, they were friends. But there's a crime from 2003 that was eerily similar, and it was a boyfriend and girlfriend, Lisa and Brandon. So I also wanted to talk to you. I figured that we could talk about that case too, because why not bring awareness to both their cases, while we're at it? Yeah, Jen, I've been thinking about, I think I do have ADD. When I talk to my friends that have been diagnosed, there's a lot of similarities. And like, one thing, I had no idea that this really was. It said that if you have a playlist in your brain all the time, and these songs come in my brain, I have no idea where they come from. Like the last one was Monica, Angel of Mine. I hadn't heard that song since like 1999 or something. So where did it come from? I don't know. And R&B just ain't really my jam, you know. That's on a side note. But hey Eddie, well the thing is, how are you? It's good to see you. Um But first of all, you guys, a lady, she's 32 years old. That's first what I want to show you guys. She went on a Father's Day camping trip with her dad on Friday. And let me see. Let me show you guys her first, because she's missing right now. Right before I checked, she's still been missing. Her and her dad was camping, and what I can tell is she just walked away around 10:30 that night, and she hasn't been seen since. And wait till I show you guys the pictures of the area. um her name is Janelle Banda, and She's 32 years old, 5'5", 125 pounds, brown eyes, and black hair. And it says she was last seen in the area known as the Edge of the World near the end of Woody Mountain Road overlooking Bear Sign Canyon. She walked away from the camp with unknown intentions and has not returned. She was last seen on 6/13/2025 at approximately 10:30 p.m. Clothing: dark colored, lightweight jogging pants and a black and white hooded sweatshirt. If you have any information about Janelle Banda or her whereabouts, please contact the Coconino County Sheriff's Office or call Coconino Silent Witness at the numbers below. And I'll post this on my community tab too, so that you guys can share it. Um, and if the numbers are, the Coconino County Sheriff's Office is 928-774-4523 or 1-800-338-7888. Um, Let me show you guys some more pictures of her. Good afternoon, hippie. How are you? Oh, you do that too, Grateful. It's good to see you. Where do they come from? I mean, usually, you guys, you probably wouldn't think it, but I listen to rap mostly, and like not even current rap or mumble rap or anything. It's like 2000s rap. But have you guys ever heard that song, Me and You and a Dog Named Boo? That's one of my favorite ones, and it's from this 70s band called Lobo. It pops into my brain a lot, and I'm not listening to 70s music. Just that it is mysterious and weird a lot. Okay, you guys, I found these pictures of her too. Absolutely beautiful, stunning. And then this picture of her. So she likes to get outdoors a lot. But look, guys, this is the area. I found this in People magazine. What did they call that? They called that the Edge of the World was the name of it. Oh man, you wouldn't catch me up there. Even if I could make it up there, you wouldn't catch me up there. No way, Jose. Mm-mm. There is a video of her dad talking that I thought that we could watch first. Oh, guys, also there is my phone. I've got this weather app, and it tells me when. Are you guys here? My bubble's not moving. It seems like everything has stalled up on me. Oh man, I don't know. Okay, now I think. Could you guys hear me? My bubble wasn't moving or anything. I um I got this weather app, and it tells me when there's lightning detected or storms or anything, and it says that lightning had been detected 10 miles away. I think was the last one that I got. So hopefully that's not going to cause me issues. Oh, okay. Thanks, guys. My bubble wasn't moving or anything. Um, yeah, so I figured that we could watch this video of Janelle's dad, and just to bring the most awareness that we can, and especially since I'm not sure how far away this area is from the two areas that I'm going to talk about today, but it's all in Arizona. Guys, my computer needs to catch up with my brain, and my mouth needs to catch up with my brain too. Oh, we'll get it. Okay. Oh, and also, guys, the I don't have the number on the bottom of my screen right now for Janelle. This is the number for Pandora and Evan in my description, but I promise that I will get her flyer up ASAP too.
Rhonda reportedly walked away from that campsite near what is called the Edge of the World in Coconino County. We've got some images of that area. Area behind me, it's a place known for gorgeous views, but also some steep drop-offs, presenting search crews with a special challenge.
Piece of your heart, piece of your life that is missing, and we cannot wait to get it back.
A father-daughter camping trip turns into a real-life nightmare for the family of 32-year-old Janelle Banda, who walked away from the campsite she was at with her father Friday night around 10:30 p.m. for unknown reasons and hasn't been seen since. The campsite's location, in the area known as the Edge of the World overlooking Bear Sign Canyon, leads to enhanced concerns.
This is a beautiful area. That's why we were enjoying camping with Janelle. We were having an amazing time. But at the same time, this is a very dangerous place that everybody should know that to take every...
Guys, it kind of worries me that on that bulletin, and I got that from the Coconino Sheriff's Office Facebook page, but it said that she walked away with unknown intentions, and that kind of leads me, it's kind of saying something but not saying something, so I pray that that's not the case.
Precaution to when they come here to visit. So the cliff, the canyon is extremely dangerous.
Janelle's mom, Marcy Steckel, says her daughter was not new to outdoor activities.
And it's not that she was camping all the time, but she enjoyed going out, hiking, just being outdoors.
The Coconino Sheriff's Office search and rescue, along with the family, leading the search for Janelle and hoping to spread awareness in order to bring her home.
Her character is like the best character anybody could ever have. And I'm saying that not just because she's my daughter, but because she's very near and dear and is a good friend to anybody.
This feeling, knowing that one of the most important person in your life, it's gone, it's missing, and we don't know what happened to her. It's just terrible.
And if you have any information about Janelle's whereabouts, please reach out to the Coconino County Sheriff.
Guys, and this was Father's Day weekend too. They were just trying to do something nice for Father's Day. Bless his heart. I got to go take my dad out for lunch this past Thursday for Father's Day, and I was really, really thankful for that, that I was able to do that. But at the same time, I know that a lot of you weren't able to, and it made me sad. And then also, our parents are getting older, and that made me sad too. But it was a really nice time. I appreciated it. Aaron says the most important person in your life. Oh, that hits hard. I know, guys. I know. So please help me pray that she's found safely ASAP too. I'll keep up with her, you guys, for sure. But today, what we're going to talk about now is two teens, Pandora, they pronounce her name Kjolsrud, and Evan Clark. And they were really, really good friends, and they both went to Arcadia High School. And Evan had just moved to Arcadia High School this past year, and so they had become friends, quickly. And they let me tell you guys about they used to go to this place called Camelback Mountain and watch sunsets. But the place where the bad stuff happened is called a Sunflower. But let me show you guys about this. Is from her mama, Pandora's mama, Simone, and this is from her 18th birthday. It says, "Happy 18th birthday to my daughter. It's hard to believe this day is here. So proud of you. So proud of this beautiful human." She absolutely was stunning. She was 18 years old. And then her mama recently shared this with pictures of their Mother's Day. And it says, I'm so very thankful for all the beautiful memories of my daughter. I'll cherish them for the rest of my life. She was truly a rare gem who brightened every single person's day. These photos, taken just a few weeks ago, were on Mother's Day. She informed me she was taking me out for brunch with her own money and went to my closet to choose my outfit. She wanted us to be twinning and gave me the clothes to wear. She said, Here, Mama, wear this. We will be twins. I have so many beautiful memories that will carry me through this unimaginable grief. She had the sweetest, most loving spirit in the whole world. And then I'll show you guys those pictures. Absolutely beautiful. And her and Evan were really good friends too. Oh, that one's cute. I had a lot of guy friends. Well, not a lot, but when I was in high school, I had a few guy friends, and it was, we were just really good friends, and we did a lot of stuff together like that too. Oh, they look a lot alike, don't they? I never noticed that earlier. And this is her with her mama Simone. And I think that that her this is her obituary, and I think that it describes her really, really well. And I wanted to show you guys. I'll just read from this because I think it says a whole lot too. I don't know about, I don't think that Pandora had any siblings. And Evan, he, on his dad's side, I don't know if he had any, but his mama said that she was her only child. He was her only child. So I think they both were only children. Um, Pandora had a vivacious personality and an infectious smile that brought joy to so many. She was a beautiful light in this world, and many are grieving her loss deeply. Her life was tragically and unexpectedly cut far too short, but the love she gave us will remain with us forever. She was a beloved daughter, niece, and granddaughter, and a cherished friend to many. Said she radiated warmth and kindness to every person and animal she ever encountered. Oh, I have to show you guys this picture. Oh, it's not down here. I'll show you guys in a second this picture of. Oh, it's up there. Well, there's two with her doggy. Then she really loved that doggy, I bet. And I bet you guys that we don't think about that a lot, but I bet their animals are even missing them. Oh, guys, I gotta come back and make that bigger. Sorry. I forgot I have to press that I have to press that other button. Um but we if I went with my friends and I didn't want to take my chair down and put it in the car if we were just running to McDonald's or something, they would bring my wheelchair back in the house. And my mama says that my little gizmo would come in there and sniff it and bark at the door and be like, Where's my mama? I know that's always with my mama. Where is she? So they miss their humans too. So I always feel sorry for them too, you guys. So it said, she had a genuine curiosity about each and every person. It was common that people who only met her once or twice would remark with delight on how unique and special she was. There were countless stories of times she walked up to a stranger to introduce herself and strike up a conversation, asking about their lives and always managing to find some shared common interest. Um, I do that too. My mama says I don't ever meet a stranger when I'm out either, and she sounds a lot like me. But I have a lot of trouble with anxiety about talking on the phone for some reason. That doesn't make any sorts of sense whatsoever. Yeah, Jen, bless him. He was my baby. Um, it says she loved life, loved connecting with people, and simply had a way of setting people at ease, making them feel special and important to her. She was a talented musician, playing violin, guitar, cello, piano, and ukulele. That's one, two, three, four, five instruments. I'd be lucky to play one. it says she loved all genres of music and had the most diverse Spotify playlist of anyone you've ever met. That reminded me of me too. She was very funny, generous, and magnetic. She could be both silly and serious in short succession. She felt most at peace when she was outside in nature. She was full of energy and zest for life, embracing each and every experience to the fullest. She was always up for an adventure and loved to try new things. She had so many passions and interests. A few of her favorite things to do were traveling, playing music, hanging out with friends, gymnastics, horseback riding, dancing to loud music, kayaking at the lake, swimming in the ocean, or simply hiking a new trail. She was an avid hiker and often went to the Camelback Mountain or Pistewa Peak for a morning hike or to watch a sunset. And they shared some really, really good pictures of. You do that too, Jen? I don't know what it is. And I need to talk to my therapist about that some more for real. Let me show you guys some of the pictures now. And this is a lot of the outdoor stuff. I was talking to Foxy about camping the other day because we were talking about these cases. And we were like, what's up with all the people camping? And the cicadas are out at my house. I don't know if you guys know what they are, but they are so loud. I can hear them through my my windows closed and everything, and with my air conditioner on. They are so loud, and they're not poisonous or anything, but they freak me out. And so I wouldn't go camping just because of them. But I admire those that do. I know I'm missing out. And then this is her. And there's her fishing. Now I do like to fish too. I've always went fishing ever since I was little. I would wear my my dad would get mad, but I would wear my little play heels and go fishing, and put my tackle and stuff in my little purse. I've always loved to do that. And then here's her with another one of her doggies. I don't know if I think they said that she had two doggies. So there's her with another one. Had a beautiful smile. Um, Let me read what her statement that her mama gave, and then we'll get to Evan. She said, uh, she was a bright light in this world who loved every single person she met and had an unusual ability to make every person she met feel special and loved. She was a friend to many and a beloved daughter. She lived in a big way and was always up for an adventure. She loved hiking and camping, and her favorite place on earth was Camelback Mountain. This is a special photo of her hiking on Camelback Mountain, and I have that photo. That was a statement from her mama, Simone. I gotta make it bigger again, Donna. There we go. And so that's where the youngins made their memorial to them at Camelback Mountain, because the place, I'm going to show you guys the first video I have, is what it looks like to get out there to the place where they were murdered. It's called Mount Ord, and the closest little town is called Sunflower. And yes, they do. And right now, Jen, it's the 13-year one and the 17-year one. It's hit the same year, so it's like double. And so they are so loud. And I told my mama the other day, I'm like, I could not sleep last night for the cicadas. And she's like, I think that ringing was in your ears. But see, I thought about that, and I had Googled all of the diseases that I could have, or whatever disorders that could cause ringing in my ears. And so then that doubled my anxiety. And then the next night she went out there and heard them for herself. So it wasn't just in my head. So that's good. Um, but here is the memorial that the youngins made. where her and Evan used to go watch the sunsets at a lot. Yeah, yeah. So now let's talk about Evan. He worked at Crumble Cookie, and he loved photography and fast cars, and he even loved work. He was a very responsible kid, and you see here, this is him and his mama Sandra, and she left a nice message about him too. I'll read to you guys in just a few minutes. Um, he would have been going into his senior year. Um, Trista says cicadas are annoying. I used to go camping when we were younger. I always went fishing with my dad when I was little. I haven't been in a long time. Yeah. We need to go. That would be nice. Hey, Miss W, how are you? It's good to see you. So good to see you. Let me see here. He would have been going into his senior year, and he planned on attending ASU and study something most likely in business. And his dad said Evan's energetic, adventurous, and kind. He had a zest for life. He's every parent's hope, and speaking as a father, he's exactly what I could hope for. By many accounts, his smile lit up a room ever since he was a baby. I know why he had so many friends, his dad said. He always had a lot of enthusiasm and always brought a lot of things to do. Um, and he likes photography, fast cars, travel, and even work. But recently, he had taken a an interest in camping and hiking, and his dad said he tried to encourage and support that as much as possible. That's what took him to the Mount Ord area for Memorial Day with his friend Pandora. They were 5 days, and there's him again. They were 5 days into their summer break, and so that's what they were kind of going to celebrate. And let me read to you what his mama said, and then I have a video for you. She said, I'm Sandra Malibu Sweeney, and Evan Clark was my only child and my beloved son. This last week, Evan was taken from me, and my level of grief feels insurmountable. I find myself at a complete loss to imagine a life without him. It is a small comfort to share things about this boy who was on his way to becoming a wonderful man. Evan wasn't a typical teenager. He was funny, bright, kind, and entrepreneurial. He was an old soul who was sensitive and loving. Evan wrote me letters, the last of which he gave me on Mother's Day, that was so touching it made me both laugh and cry. He was special. He deserved a long life. Evan enjoyed working at Crumble Cookies, going to concerts, photography, cars, and trips to Malibu, California. Evan attended Rancho Solano, where he was a popular student and enjoyed wonderful faculty and friends. He then attended Verta Prep, where he made additional strong friendships and played on the football team. Evan spent his final school year, 11th grade, at Arcadia High School, where he flourished socially. The outpouring of concern from these communities has meant so very much to me. I sincerely thank every person who has reached out to offer compassion and sympathy. The kindness I have been shown has touched me greatly. Thank you all. And then she leaves this quote: let go of the past, let go of the future, let go of the present, and cross to the far shore. With the mind and body liberated, you shall suffer no more. Well, how beautiful is that? Bless both of these sets of parents, guys. Um, they will, Aaron. They absolutely will. Okay, Debbie, no problem. Okay, now you guys, what I wanted to show you was what this area looks like. It was way far out, and the next case that I'm going to talk to you guys about, it was just off the parking lot really, but this was way far out. I think that was the wrong one, guys. Oh yeah, here it is.
The area where the teens were found is very remote, and even if you drive State Route 87 often, you might not even notice the turnoff used to access Mount Ord.
New 12 News journalist William Pitts shows us the remote area that's now a murder scene.
The road to Mount Ord starts off Highway 87. There's a turnoff on the northbound side, right at the top of a pass. At first glance, the road doesn't really go anywhere, and it narrows to just one lane. But from there, it keeps going for miles. It's a rocky, windy dirt road up and down hills. A low clearance car definitely wouldn't make it. At times, our 12 News SUV had trouble making it up. And the road dead ends just below the top of the mountain. The road to the top of Mount Ord is very treacherous. It's rutted, it's got huge rocks, it's very difficult to get up here, even in a four-wheel drive or an all-wheel drive.
They haven't told a whole lot about this case. All I really know is that they died by gunshot wounds and they were found away from their vehicles. So I don't know how far away or what that really means, but that's really all that they've given out so far. And they said that a 911 call came in from Gila County, and that's really all that I know too. But it was on the line of Gila County, so the other sheriff, Maricopa County, has taken over the lead.
Car. When you're up here, you're really in the middle of nowhere. That right there, that's Highway 87. There are no formal campgrounds, just a few places where you could pitch a tent, plus some fire pits made out of rocks. We don't know exactly where the two teenagers were found on this road, but there aren't many places to stop. And it's definitely a place you would have to know is there. William Pitts, 12 News.
All right, Will, thank you. The area where the teens
So that shows how far up that's way far out, like not even like my holler, guys. That's way far out. Okay, now I want to show you guys what their community is saying and what their friends are saying. And then I'll show you guys interview from Pandora's parents haven't spoken out on camera yet, I don't think. And that's totally up to them, you guys. We know in this community, especially, how that they're damned if they do and damned if they don't, you know. So, but Evan's parents have spoken out, so I'll show you guys that after this.
Two Valley teenagers found dead near Mount Ord in the Tonto National Forest.
And the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office, they're investigating it as a double homicide. The 17 and 18-year-old victims were students at Arcadia High School. Fox 10's Kenzie Beach is live tonight with more. Kenzie.
Yeah, this community is absolutely devastated by the deaths of two Valley teens. They were both students here at Arcadia High School. I had the chance to speak with friends of 18-year-old Pandora Kjolsrud and co-workers that identified the second victim as 17-year-old Evan Clark. These friends tell me that the two went on a camping trip for Memorial Day weekend, but never returned.
It's pretty shocking.
A memorial overlooks the valley on Camelback Mountain, a place 18-year-old Pandora Kjolsrud and 17-year-old Evan Clark.
That picture taken of Pandora was on this mountain, and then that's where her and Evan used to go watch the sunsets too.
Often came to watch the sunset with friends. It was a call to Maricopa County Sheriff's deputies off State Road 87 early Tuesday morning when deputies found two
2 Arcadia teenagers dead. The Maricopa County Sheriff's Office saying at this time, our focus is on conducting a comprehensive and meticulous investigation to ensure justice for the victims and their loved ones. Maricopa County Medical Examiner's Office lists the cause of death as homicide.
Just cherish all the memories and the laughs. His life was cut very short, and so was Pandora's. They were very young, and it was just so sudden and a tragedy that you wouldn't even imagine.
Evan Clark just finished his junior year at Arcadia High.
Hey Tony, good afternoon. Happy Monday. How are you? And Vanessa, Nature Rocks, how are you? It's so good to see you guys. Aaron says all these stories, such young kiddos. I know. And like I said, also, it's not just, okay, it was somebody they had beef with that done this, you know? It could have been, but we don't know. And Emily Pike is, her murder is still unsolved, and so are these two in the same area.
Co-workers at Crumble Cookie say he was an avid photographer with a vibrant personality.
He was just bigger than life. He had the best personality, and he lifted all of us up all the time.
He always showed up on time, or even a few minutes early to work.
On Tuesday, Evan never showed up for his shift, raising red flags.
So yeah, it was out of character for him to just not answer anyone.
It was a call from Evan's family when his co-workers learned of his tragic passing.
Now, it was a call from sheriff that went to sheriff's deputies on what happened to these teens, but a lot more questions than answers right now on what led to their deaths. But the principal here at Arcadia High School telling us that the school will be open on Monday from 8 a.m. to noon. They will have a group of both psychiatrists and counselors for support for friends, families, and loved ones.
Oh, that's good. Even though that the kids were out for summer break, they still opened the school for grief counselors for families and for friends. So that was really good and good thinking. They were found on the 27th, I believe, and but their day of death, the medical examiner put the 26th. So I wonder how they could tell that. But I started looking into this case. I started looking into it on the 30th, but then we remember that the Decker girls went missing on the 30th, and so I felt that bringing awareness to them at that time was imperative because at first they were just missing, you know, so I thought that they could possibly still be saved. So that's when I started looking into that case. But now, you know, I've come back to this one because it's been too long, you know. Debbie says, update for those interested. No Karen Reed verdict for today. Been reported that the jury is being sent home for the day. That's very interesting. Wonder if they're going to come back home. Thank you so much for that update. I don't know. I'm glad I didn't dig into that case because I know that there's so many rabbit holes and I would have gotten lost. I get lost in a lot. Oh. Okay, so now I want to show you guys an interview from Evan's mama. And then I have one from his dad too. And I always, guys, when I play these videos, I always share it in I always put the link in the chat so that you guys can watch it on your own if you want to too.
It's been 5 days since 2 teens from Arcadia High School were shot and killed in a remote area northeast of the valley. There have been no arrests. Police are still searching for any information while their families and friends, as you can imagine, are devastated. 12 News journalist Jade Cunningham spoke with a mother of one of those teens, Evan Clark, and she says she is living her worst nightmare.
Sandra tells me her son Evan filled her life with joy, that he was someone who had so much love to give, someone who was loved by all.
He was the sweetest, thoughtful, mature, funny, kind person.
17-year-old Evan Clark.
He loved photography. He loved fast cars.
Was Sandra Sweeney's whole world.
He was my everything. We were like this.
Their bond, she says, was always something special, something unbreakable.
Evan, how old are you?
5.
Do you like playing the piano?
When he was little,
Lot.
and he would sleep with me in my room. And every night before bed, I would tell him stories like,
Oh, how sweet. I bet they did have a really, really close bond, because I've heard that, with mothers and sons, mothers and daughters too, but especially mothers and sons are really close. And then him being her only child too. Yeah, man, Astro. Absolutely. 10 toes down when you standing on business, right?
You have the kids' books and you're sitting there reading the story and things. And then we would just laugh and giggle. We had our own magical world.
On May 27th, though,
he told me he was going on one of these camping trips, and my text message to him was, "Please don't go."
The one person who filled her life with purpose was taken from her.
My worst nightmare. My worst nightmare.
The Maricopa County Sheriff's Office says the bodies of Evan and 18-year-old Pandora Kjolsrud were found Tuesday. Police said they were shot in a remote area near Mount Ord. Evan's mother can't understand why these two young lives were cut short.
I can't.
Bless her. Who can understand that?
Words.
Who can understand that, you guys? And I always say it's good that we can't understand, because it means we're not like these people, and that's good. That's really good. Hey, Carl, good to see you. How are you? It's really good to see you. Yeah, I haven't seen that, Astro. I don't think.
No words.
Sandra came to our interview with letters.
Dear Madre.
Letters Evan wrote his mother over the years.
You deserve the world.
Letters she says she's never treasured more.
I'm so lucky and grateful to be your son, because I have the best mom.
And as she now tries to navigate through immense grief.
What do they say about your personality?
It's nice.
It's these keepsakes, memories, and Evan himself.
This is where he is.
That's helping give her some strength.
What do you think Evan would tell you right now?
Not to worry and to be happy, because that's all he ever wanted me to do. Just be happy.
Can you tell me something nice, Evan?
I love you more than anything in the world.
Jay Cunningham, 12 News.
So investigators are still searching for answers in this case. If you have any information, you're asked to contact the Maricopa.
How sweet is that? Bless them, guys. Now I have a video from Evan's dad. Bill is his name, I believe. And I don't think that Pandora's family has came on camera yet. But that doesn't mean that her family aren't as devastated, or that they don't love her as much. You know? Yeah, Carl, I absolutely know. I absolutely know, and it is absolutely no problem, buddy. At all. My pleasure. Yeah, there's not been a whole lot put out about this case, Astro. That's why I wanted to do my little part to spread what awareness that I can. We'll do our part, and absolutely.
It's been a little over a week since two teenagers were found shot and killed during a camping trip in the Mount Ord area. The Maricopa County Sheriff's Office continues investigating the deaths of Pandora Kjolsrud and Evan Clark as suspicious. I sat down with Evan's father, Bill, and he tells me he will struggle, understand, and come to terms with the 17-year-old's death for the rest of his life. And Clark believes that will be the case for so many other friends and family members in his son's circle who were touched by Evan's energetic, adventurous, and kind spirit.
He's every parent's, hope. And speaking as a father, he's exactly what I could hope for.
Evan Clark's broad smile lit up a room ever since he was a baby.
I know why he had so many friends. He always had a lot of enthusiasm and always brought a lot of energy to things, too.
Energy the 17-year-old brought to his passions, cars, photography.
Hey guys, I don't know if his dad Bill says it in this interview or I read it somewhere, but he says that when he went camping that Evan had a heavily packed first aid kit and safety equipment. He was a safe boy. What kind of 17-year-old thinks or even cares to take such, And he said he was risk averse. And I didn't know what that term meant, so I Googled it and it says disinclined or reluctant to take risk. And that's not like a teenager either, and especially not like a teenage boy. They, well, when I first became paraplegic, there was not that many girls. There were way more boys that were paralyzed because they do take more risk. So that statistic always sits with me too. So he wasn't like that, and that makes this tragedy even worse too, because he was being safe and doing, something that kids do. They weren't out here in the streets robbing people or being in gangs or anything. They were doing something good.
Travel, even work. His dad, Bill Clark, says more recently, Evan fell in love with the outdoors.
He got very involved with hiking and camping in the last year or so, and I encouraged it as much as I could.
That love of camping took him to the Mount Ord area over Memorial Day weekend to camp with his friend, 18-year-old Pandora Kjolsrud.
Tell me about those moments getting him ready for that trip that he was so excited to go on.
It seemed like any other trip.
But when Evan and Pandora did not come back, the families grew concerned. Clark says he joined Maricopa County Sheriff's deputies in the search, never imagining Evan and Pandora would be found shot.
Every morning and several more times each day, I have to remind myself that the most remote possibility actually occurred. He was a safe boy. He was risk averse.
As MCSO investigates the death, says
yes, that's where he said that. That's where he said that he was a safe boy.
Suspicious shock ripples through the community.
It's a time-worn cliche, but that doesn't mean it's not true. He would want everyone to keep moving.
Heading into his senior year, Evan's dad says he planned to attend ASU.
I have no doubt that Evan was going to go on to a lot of very good things.
As he grapples with a life cut short, Clark says he's spending time processing alongside Evan's friends.
Nothing prepared me for this.
Giving them some of his old baseball caps, hoping despite immeasurable loss, they will push forward.
Evan was always very enthusiastic, so carry that.
For ABC 15 Arizona, I'm Jane Caffrey.
We see so often that children and teenagers aren't treated the best in their home environments, but these two were absolutely loved and cherished by their parents. And so even though that their life ended way too young, their life was cut way too short. At least the life that they had up until then was good. It seemed really, really good, and so I am grateful for that. If there's anything we can be grateful for. You think so? Nature Rock says, I think there are a lot of bad people that live out there. Yeah. Yeah. It just seems so, I mean, for three young teenagers to get taken out like this, just, it seems like that's the, not a good statistic, basically. Um, I think that there is one more video that I want to show you guys. It's the most recent thing that the police are saying, and this was on the 11th, 6/11, and they are asking for the public's help. I'm coming, guys. They say that they have, guys, I know that the plural of a mouse, like a little furry mouse, is mice. But is it the same with your computer mouse? Is it still computer mice? Like if you have more than one? Oh, that's a shower thought, Brat would say. But I was going to say that I think that they have computer mice that you can't hear them click. I'm going to look into that. This is my point. Oh.
Detectives facing a challenge, cracking a high-profile double murder.
They followed up with every possible lead that we could, and they all ended up in a dead end.
On May 27th, 2 weeks ago today, 18-year-old Pandora Kjolsrud and 17-year-old Evan Clark were found shot to death. Family says they were camping in the Tonto National Forest. Clark's mom today telling us it's been devastating.
I'm gutted. There's nothing I can say. I'm sorry.
Today, Sheriff Jerry Sheridan sharing details with Arizona's family he can release without hurting the investigation. He says the bodies were found in a location separate from where the teen's vehicle was located.
We know how they were murdered. We know what the crime scene tells us.
We're also told the 911 call came in from Gila County.
The detectives worked for 4 days in a row, didn't go home.
That's what I was telling you guys. The 911 call came in from Gila County, and the Gila County Sheriff's Office are the ones that are over Emily Pike's case too. Well, the FBI are involved too, and her tribe. But that's just too close, you guys. Too close. And it's not like you may think, okay, well, in a highly populated town like New York or some New York City or Los Angeles, like 3 teenagers being murdered and it unsolved wouldn't be, with the population, it wouldn't be that, it's bad, but it wouldn't be that bad statistically. But out in the Arizona desert, it seems like it's, not good. Well, it's definitely not good, but you all feel me.
We had to actually send them home because they worked so hard and so long in the same clothes.
Those long hours resulted in no arrests or suspects.
So now we're at the point where we don't know who did this. Is that individual still out there or individuals? The answer would be yes, they are.
And if you know anything or if you were in the area on May 25th or 26th, you are asked to call MCSO. We also have the information for the tip line on our website, azfamily.com. And we're going to continue to follow this case. So if we learn any new details or if there's news of a suspect, we'll be sure to.
And I have those numbers at the bottom of the screen and in my description too. And that's basically all that I have about that case, you guys. They haven't put out a whole lot. But now I want to tell you guys about a case that happened in 2003. And, oh, thanks, Grateful. Thank you so much. I love all you guys too. I absolutely do. And I don't care if people say that's love bombing or whatever. It's true and I mean it. And so what am I supposed to do? Like not say it, you know? But now I'm going to change the ticker on the bottom of my screen because we're going to move on to the other case that and these are the numbers to call if you have any information about that case. The silent witness at the bottom for I think that's a it's through the police and I'll show you guys. But now I've got to get my other folder pulled up. When I was looking, it was on a comment on Facebook where I saw about this case. It was in 2003 and it's still unsolved too. So I thought that we could look into it, but there's so much, you guys, that well this case has been around for 22 years, you know. There's definitely more out about it. And so I just want to briefly tell you guys about it today, but we could do another live where we look into it even more because have you guys ever watched that Unresolved or listened to that Unresolved podcast? He even did one about this case and he did it in okay, Debbie, I hope you have a great day. It was good seeing you too. He even did an episode about this case and he does really good, and it was in January, so it's really up to date. But I just want to briefly tell you guys about it today. It's Brandon Rumba and his girlfriend Lisa, and her name was Lisa Marie. And actually, you guys, so it's the case that we just spoke about with Pandora and Evan, and then there's Brandon and Lisa, and then also let me show you guys this. There was another case in March 1973, and it was two teenagers were killed in the desert too. So this makes, and on this case, how crazy is this, you guys? It was Kathy Kroger 17 and James Burgoyne 19. That was her boyfriend. And how crazy is this? Kathy went to the same high school, Arcadia High School, that Pandora and Evan went to. Hippie sent me this article, and that's where I got this from today. So thank you so much, Hippie. And if anybody ever finds anything that you'd like to share about any of the cases that we covered, or any way that we could bring more awareness to other cases, you're always so free to email me. Yeah. So and they were killed by a man named Sean Jensen. He was a Vietnam combat veteran and Purple Heart recipient, and it says he allegedly had a flashback and shot both of them. But he was charged and convicted, and he is actually in prison still to this day. It said that he tried to get mental health treatment in the months prior to the shooting. So that reminded me of Travis Decker too. Even back then, you guys, and still to this day, the vets aren't getting the respect and the help that they deserve. So I wanted to show you guys this too. So Bumblebee Road is where they were found. The two that we're talking about right now, Brandon and Lisa, and Mount Ord is where Pandora and Evan were found. So it's about 2.5 hours to get there. So not real close, but not far away either, you know. I wonder on this map where I'm not good at maps, you guys. I'm not good at numbers or directions or anything like that. But I'm wondering where on this map Emily was found. I don't know. But this is them. They had actually met at a nightclub. And let me tell you guys a little bit about Lisa first. You guys, she reminds me so much of myself too, because we would have been about the same age at this time. And when I show you guys the last picture, she's dressed in something that reminds me exactly of something that I would wear. um Astro, I'm sorry, buddy. I'm so very sorry. Every time that I get to spend with my mama or my dad, I thank God literally every night, because I know that I'm blessed to have another day with them, because I know that so many people don't. And it doesn't pass by me that, that I should be grateful for that, and I really, really, really am. I really am. Okay, let me tell you guys about Lisa first. Let me get my notes up here. So she was 19 and Brandon was 20 at this time. And let me see here. She was going to community college at this time, and she was studying business management. And you guys, she in 2001, I didn't even remember what year it was, but it was 2001 where that movie The Wedding Planner came out. And so that's what she was wanting to do after college. It says she wouldn't even consider getting married until after she graduated from college. So that was high on her list. And at this time she was a secretary at a power company. And she was a really good singer. I think in the video that we're going to watch, it shows part of her singing. And she had her dad had passed away when she was young from cancer, but she had two brothers, Neil the third and Danny, and her mama Paula still advocates for her to this day, and her dad's brother Mike. They still are very, very active in her case. And it said her mom said the sun rose and set on Brandon. They would play and tickle each other. He constantly had his arm around her or holding her hand. Both of them loved each other so much. And about 2 months before they decided to go camping, he had moved in with her. And let me show you guys Brandon. This is them together. And Brandon, he had one sister, Jessica, and after he graduated in 2001, he went into the Marine Reserves, but he was discharged after 2 years because of a knee injury. So he was going to ASU, Arizona State University. But after he got hurt, physical fitness was a lot on his mind, and he wanted to regain his muscle back. So he was working as a physical trainer at this time, and he wanted to open up his own gym. And a scholarship fund was set up at Fitness Works at his gym after he passed away. His friends decided to do that. So I thought that was really, really nice of them to do, because physical fitness meant so much to him. Thanks, guys. Thank you for looking out for each other, too. Absolutely. I know that when I left the YouTube community that I came from, I really enjoyed the idea of community there. And Aaron told me that, I could start my own community. And I, I dreamt of, I wouldn't even go up on panels or anything, you guys, before I started my own channel. I've actually only been up on Eddie's panel, I think. But, so I thought that I could, give my opinion and raise awareness, number one, for the cases that might not get the awareness they deserve. And number two, which is just as much importance to me, was that we could have a community where, where I'm paraplegic, and especially since COVID, I don't get out a whole lot. And I know that there were other people like me that, could would like a community like ours, you know, that may not get out a lot or talk to people a lot in real life. So that was my second goal, you know, and so I love that you guys are talking to each other in the chat, and that's just as important some days. So I really appreciate you guys for that. Hey, Happy Feet, how are you? It's so good to see you. Thank you for coming by. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I usually only go live once a week because it takes a lot of research that I do. But there's so many times that I research things on my own that I don't even share with you guys. So that makes me feel good. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Yep. So at this time, they were celebrating their 1 year anniversary, and both being college kids, they wanted to go to Disney World, but they didn't have the money, right? So they were going to recreate one of their first dates, and they decided to go out stargazing. And this is Lisa's mama's truck, and she said that the change oil light had come on, and so she really didn't want to let Lisa take it. I don't think Lisa had ever been camping before, but she decided to let her take it. And so she said that she said, take some extra blankets, and be careful, and I'll see you when you get back. And so they had to be back the next morning because Brandon had to go to work. And her mama said that she had spoken to her by cell phone that night, and she said I asked her if she was there yet. She said, no, we're not there yet, Mom, we still got so many miles to go. I said, okay, just be careful. That was the last conversation I had. Lisa didn't get service on her phone, so she was calling from Brandon's. So the next day, when they didn't return, because, they were really, really, she talked to her mama. If she was even going to be 15 minutes late, she would call her mama. And I was the same way when I was her age. The rule was you won't get in trouble if you call, but you will get in trouble if you don't call, So she was kind of like that. And her mom said when it was 9:15 the next morning, she knew something was wrong. When she tried to call Brandon's cell phone, though, it was like it was no service. And so she began calling around, trying to find them, and she called Brandon's family. And his parents weren't really concerned. They thought that they may have went to elope in Vegas because they were really, really in love, and that might be something he would try to do. But after learning the circumstances, they started to grow concerned, and it became fear when he didn't show up for work. And they checked his bank account, and they discovered no activity on his account, and that made them very suspicious. So her mama, Paula, reached out to Mesa Police, and they issued a statewide alert. But her mama feared that they really wouldn't do any searches on their own, and so all the family and friends got together and started doing searches on their own. The friends found the two lying in a sleeping bag in the truck bed. Each had multiple gunshot wounds to the head and torso. And the investigators ruled out a murder-suicide because there was no evidence of robbery or SA, and neither had drugs or alcohol in their system. But there were two things that were, very suspicious. Okay, something was missing. Lisa had borrowed her mama's camcorder that day, and the camcorder was missing, but the case was still there, and Lisa's keys were missing. And so they started searching around the truck, and they didn't mention this at first, but after some years, they decided to tell. They found this disposable camera. Remember, we had those back in the day. You didn't have, an iPhone where you could, take pictures right then. You had to do it the old fashioned way and take pictures on a camera like this and then take it to the old school Walmart or Walgreens and send it off. And it wasn't even same day. If you wanted to print it, your pictures printed out that same day, it would cost big bucks. Usually you would have to wait a week for the pictures to come back. But they found this camera. It was about 100 feet away from the truck, I believe, if I'm remembering correctly. And it was broken, like somebody had broken it on purpose. But they went back on video and they saw that Brandon and Lisa had purchased this camera at a grocery store on their trip that night. Well, they found, when they had the photos developed, they found this. This is Lisa in the back of that truck that night. And see, I used to wear the tank top and the belt with the boot cut or flare jeans exactly like that back in the day. That's why it reminded me of myself. And thanks, Aaron. You did tell me that. You absolutely did tell me that, and it meant so very much to me. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Carl, he says, remember Polaroid? Now that was technology. Yeah, I know. I bought my niece one of those. It's the new kind of Polaroid things. But they're even, I wish I had one of them now that I think about it. Yep, so this was that night. And how eerie is that, you guys? So they found this. They had taken 3 photos, I think. And then, I guess they took pictures of each other. And then there's Brandon. And then this was the other picture. And they said that it got over and exposed when the camera was thrown. And they said that they think that it might have been this restaurant near before they went up the mountain. And you can kind of see like a light fixture at the top and a door. And then it looks like some kind of flower right there. But the police released these hoping it would jar someone's memory. But, yeah, so just see. Oh, in Lisa's photo, her mama Paula said that this does not look like her real smile. It looks like she's scared or something. So she said that hit her weird too. But now I think it would be good if we watch this documentary type video, and it tells, about a good summary, and then also, up to date. Let me see when this was. This was 4 years ago, 2020, and I don't think a whole lot has came out since.
I always thought of Lisa as my own.
Where were they shot?
In the head and torso.
I'll be more than happy to do what my brother John would have done.
They were sitting in the back of the pickup truck, or lying in the back of the pickup truck.
I feel that he's 100% involved. Whether he actually pulled the trigger or not, I don't know.
You're listening to True Crime Arizona, the podcast.
Just off the busy I-17 freeway between Phoenix and Flagstaff is a road as peculiar as its name, Bumblebee Road.
It's creepy, scary, it's dangerous. There's a lot of people out there partying. There's people out there with guns.
Bumblebee Road narrowly winds through the desolate desert with small areas to pull off and park. Mike Guerrieri had been there plenty over the years, but he never would have wanted his niece Lisa to go there, especially overnight.
So you didn't know she had gone up there?
No. And it's crushed me ever since.
Because in October of 2003, Lisa never came back home.
Following morning, got a phone call, an hour ahead of anybody. And I was told to keep it to myself that they found the truck. Lisa is in the back of it.
So this is her Uncle Mike, right? And he said an hour and a half before anybody, he got a call that they had found Lisa, but he was told to keep it to himself. I never found the rest of this interview, you guys. It only shows a piece of it here. I would like to find the rest and see exactly what he meant, because I don't think he explains it here.
She is dead. I always thought of Lisa as my own. Her and my daughter were just months apart.
Lisa Guerrieri was only 19 years old. She sang at her church in Mesa, Arizona, had a great job at a local power company, and a personality that just drew people in.
Oh, she was incredible. She was one of those girls that literally could walk in a room, you could be upset, ticked off, and you couldn't help but smile. Just because she always had a smile on her face. As a matter of fact, she sang at my wedding.
Lisa's voice was so special to her family. It was the last thing her father heard.
Trista, that reminds me. I think I forgot to read this to you guys. They do think that let me see down here. They do think that there's evidence that Lisa probably woke up at some point during the attack, but they can't say for sure right now. So that was one of your questions. But they also, I can't remember if it was this video or another video, but they said they think that somebody was trying to steal things out of their truck when they opened the door. And that's what they didn't know, the kids were in the back of the truck. So they think that's a possibility. But there's also a possibility that one of Brandon's friends was jealous that he was with Lisa. And so they do think that that's a possibility too. And in that Unresolved podcast, he tells more about the possibilities that he does list his sources, but I haven't gotten a chance to check those out yet. But I think it would be good if I did that too, because he lists even more than what I can tell you right now. But those were very good questions. And thank you for asking, or I would have forgotten to read that part.
Before he died of cancer.
I have a memory of John that I can't let loose. I don't know why it sticks with me, but it does. He was in hospice, and the nurse had told me, she said, keep an eye on your brother. She said, sometimes, she says, people come back for a short period. He did. He did. It was wild. But he asked Lisa to come over and sit down and sing with him. And he sang the song, was it Deja Vu? Whatever. He sang it, and then he was out like a light again. But it was just an amazing thing. And it was amazing to see him and Lisa together doing it.
Did he ever gain consciousness again?
No.
So his last memory was with Lisa?
Yeah.
But Lisa had another special man in her life, her boyfriend, 20-year-old Brandon Rumbaugh. He was an Arizona State University student and a personal trainer. Friends say the two were so happy together and about to celebrate a milestone in their relationship.
Brandon and Lisa were going away for their 1-year anniversary. They didn't have the money to do anything else.
Because they were going to go to Disneyland, right? That was in the talk.
The original one. So they decided they're going to go spend the night shooting the stars with the camera or whatever.
The location, Bumblebee Road, the perfect place they thought, for an overnight trip together. They took a video camera and bought a disposable camera on their way to document the night. But Lisa kept the trip a secret from Mike.
Lisa told my wife and her mother, do not tell Uncle Mike, because she knows damn well I would not have allowed it.
For safety reasons?
Well, I know the place. I used to party there. No, I would not have let her go there at all.
The two planned to be home by 9 a.m. the next morning.
When do you find out something was wrong?
The following morning, my wife and I got a call, because Lisa was always very punctual. If she wasn't going to be someplace, when she said, she would call. She was always, right on. They were supposed to be home by 9 o'clock, no later. I guess it had to be somewhere around 10 after, quarter after. Paula called my wife, Trish, and told her she hasn't heard from Lisa. Trish and I knew instantly something's wrong.
Lisa and Brandon would be found in the back of their pickup truck, both shot dead. Lieutenant Frank Barbaro with the Yavapai County Sheriff's Office was one of the first deputies on the scene.
So they were located on Bumblebee Road and basically responded with a team of detectives, and we secured the area around it and started to search the crime scene and worked our way in and found the two, Brandon and Lisa, in the car.
What did the car look like? How were they found?
This area was a parking spot where people would unload ATVs and go riding and camp around there and stuff.
See, guys, this is different from where Pandora and Evan were found. They were found way up that mountain. Remember that that news anchor? He said you almost had to have 4-wheel drive or a high clearance vehicle to get up there. But this is just a common area where a lot of people park their vehicles and to do their riding and stuff, get their motorcycles out. And also, a lot of people had passed by their truck before they were found deceased, but they thought they were just asleep in the bed of their truck, because whoever did this had the forethought to cover them up with their sleeping bag so it wouldn't be obvious. So that's a difference here too. Jingles, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for coming.
And this was pretty close to the road, and the vehicle was backed in and they were sitting in the back of the pickup truck, or lying in the back of the pickup truck.
Sleeping bags?
Yes.
And how did you know this wasn't a murder-suicide?
Well, there was no weapon at the scene, and there's no indications that they would do something like that.
Were they shot multiple times?
Yes.
Both of them?
Yes.
Where were they shot?
In the head and torso.
As detectives searched the area, they found something on the ground, not far from the truck. The disposable camera the couple had bought, broken in half.
Where did you find the camera? What did it look like?
So the camera looked like it had been thrown away from the truck, and it was found by some rocks, probably about 40 yards away.
Do you think the person who killed them tried to throw the camera away to destroy evidence?
Well, it's a good possibility.
But they quickly realized the only other camera that could have clues as to what happened was missing.
You also found or knew that there was a video camera.
They wanted to take this video camera with them, and I believe it was Lisa's mom's camera. So they took it, and we never located that thing. So we found the camera case, but we never found the video camera.
Guys, I'm trying to think back then, 2003. It would still have been the big cameras, wouldn't it? The kind that you have to put up on your shoulder and stuff. And it wouldn't be like, it might be the little handheld ones where you use the little tapes and then you put it in a bigger tape to put in your VCR to watch. They might have been made it up to that high tech in 2003. I can't really remember back that far, but either way, they were worth quite a bit of money back then. So I'm sure they checked pawn shops and things like that, and surely this person wouldn't have been dumb enough to pawn that or sell it, but that could still hold a key to this day, perhaps, if they could find that or find what happened to it. They said they still have the serial number and everything, so that's good.
And you know what kind of camera it was?
Yeah, it was a VHS camera, and we know everything about it, even the serial number.
So you think the person who killed them took that video camera with them?
Absolutely.
And potentially that could have all the evidence you need to solve it on
Well,
it?
it'd be interesting to talk to the person who's in possession of that.
During our investigation, the sheriff's department was ready to share evidence with us they had never shown to the public before. They were able to develop several pictures from that broken disposable camera. The last two on the roll were likely Lisa.
Guys, so the crime happened in 2003 and this video came out in 2020. So they had kept the photos to themselves all those years, and I guess they're running out. Well, he'll tell you they ran, this is definitely a cold case. So they released these hoping to press the investigation further along.
And Brandon's last moments alive. There was a shot of each of them in the back of the truck, both looking happy and relaxed, smiling back at each other. But there are a few other pictures they were able to develop that remain a mystery as to what they're of and where they were taken. They show the inside of a building with a CFL light bulb. Detectives have not been able to place where the couple was before they parked for the night.
I've always been interested, since I was a young girl, Nancy Drew and various books and shows. So I've always been interested in puzzles and figuring out what happened. I mean, I think the more time I spend with it, the more I'm not willing to give up.
This case has a special set of eyes on it. With a background in politics and education, Deb West is now a cold case volunteer with the Yavapai County Sheriff's Office and has been working on the Guerreri-Rumbach case for several years.
What are you zeroing in on right now?
I would say definitely looking at the evidence again, looking at maybe some things that were not tested back in the day that maybe could be tested now because of DNA advancements.
What wasn't tested then that should be now?
Well, for example, Brandon's pants, the jeans that were there. It's very possible that the perpetrator looked through the pants. So we need to look at that and see if there's any information there we could use.
During our interview with the Sheriff's Department, Deb and the detectives debated whether or not they wanted to talk publicly about the caliber of gun used in the murders. The gun has never been found.
Well, the family knows. It doesn't mean everyone else knows. If you have any cars to hold back, it might be one to hold. Just my thought.
Yeah, I'm not really worried about it, Deb. You tell me how you feel.
Deb thought the public should know, and the detectives listened to her.
Maybe someone knows someone who had a 25.
I mean, 16 years, we're held back enough.
They decided to release what they know, a .25 caliber handgun.
So a 25.
Yeah.
What's unique about that?
25, it's just not a very unique weapon. It's a small caliber, small gun, kind of like a little pocket gun. It's probably a 10 round, 11 round capacity gun.
It's just not something people use.
Yeah, not very popular.
No gun at the scene, but plenty of DNA. Just not the DNA Lieutenant Barbaro and his team were looking for.
We've had several DNA matches to that area, but people are there for legitimate reasons. So just because somebody's DNA is in an area doesn't mean that they committed the crime.
And that's tough, right? And especially that there were so many people out there, that has to almost cloud the area in terms of people's DNA you could pick up.
It's the old needle in a haystack thing.
But he feels the investigation weighs in a certain direction.
Normally people are killed by somebody they know. So usually if you find that relationship or find out how they're hooked into somebody else, you're going to be able to put this together.
But you think this was random?
Seems like it.
Because if it was random, why do you think those two would be targeted when there were other people, lots of people, up at that same campsite?
Well, there wasn't really anybody up there.
It's weird that he's saying he believes it's random because they said they haven't cleared anybody. I can't remember if it was this video or another video, but the guy that was jealous back in the day, he had moved away like very soon after this, and people thought that was suspicious. But he took a lie detector test, and back in the day, the detectives had cleared him. But now this guy, this investigator, he says nobody is cleared, and if it was him, he would not have cleared that guy just for a past lie detector test.
at night. So that's mostly a day use area. And then if you're gonna camp, that's pretty close to the side of Bumblebee Road. So if you're gonna camp, there was another 2-track road that you could have driven down and gotten to some areas where you spend a night. So it was a pretty weird spot to stay, and nobody knew where they were gonna be. And we're talking 2003, Lisa didn't even have cell phone communication with anybody. Brandon's cell phone, I think, worked, but he hadn't talked to anybody. And there wasn't the social media and stuff, hey, we're going over here, we're gonna post these pictures where we're at the time. That wasn't going on. And because of the theft of some of the items, we're thinking maybe it was a burglary and they didn't know they were sleeping in the back of the truck.
He's not alone. Through her research, Deb also feels the same.
I'm leaning more toward a random. Whether it's someone, the purpose was to break into the truck, steal the truck, whatever, and we're surprised by the people in the back.
But Lisa's family doesn't believe it was random at all.
Definitely, if they're not involved, they are involved as far as they know something.
Before 20-year-old Brandon and 19-year-old Lisa were found off the I-17 on Bumblebee Road, an area where Brandon's friends had been searching.
This guy, my oldest daughter's boyfriend, and that went looking for Lisa.
As soon as Lisa and Brandon's friends learned they hadn't come back from camping,
after spotting the truck, they flagged down DPS officer Ryan Hawkins.
They went looking for them. Their friends ended up being the ones who found them dead.
They pulled in front of me. One of the friends came running back in tears, crying, saying that they had found the truck off of Bumblebee.
Mike says the circumstances were bizarre. We're disguising names since nobody has been named officially as persons of interest.
Carl, I think that what we're getting ready to hear here, I think that it goes along with what your feeling is and what you're thinking. How they found Lisa and Brandon is very suspicious to Uncle Mike here, and I think this is where he says it, if I remember. I always preview the videos before I show you guys, and some of them I are good to show you guys, and I think that it would help us, but some, I think, some are better to share than others, so I get them confused if this is the one I thought or another one that I saw, but I think I'm right about this. I think he's fixing to say.
The following day, he drove right exactly to Bumblebee Road, got off, stopped, wouldn't go any further. They sat there for I don't know how long. Then he insisted on pulling a Yui. There's a car behind him or something. Something made him go forward. And when he did, that's when the other guys noticed the truck.
So they found it, this group of people involved with your family found them.
These 3 guys.
And you believe they're involved?
I believe 1, if not 2. Definitely, if they're not involved, they are involved as far as they know something. There's one person in particular that I feel that he's 100% involved. He's 100% knowledgeable as to what took place. Whether he actually pulled the trigger or not, I don't know. I don't have that answer.
And that person was questioned by detectives?
Yes.
And what happened from there?
He was given a polygraph and let go.
What would have been the motive?
He wanted Lisa. He wanted Lisa bad.
To be with her?
To be with her. And
Brandon was instead?
Well, Brandon, from what I understand, had a fight over it because she was already going out with Brandon. She didn't want any part of this guy.
Mike was ready to go ask this friend's questions face to face, but he got a call and was told the man had cleared out his home and left town.
Last I heard, he was in Vegas, but then I heard he moved from there.
So you don't know where he is?
I don't know where he's at, but I don't believe anyone would have gotten a little polygraph and said, oh, well, you're not involved. He would pat on his back and send him on his way. Well, the guy's been gone ever since.
Pretty suspect.
To me. Pretty damn, yeah, very.
If the sheriff's department lets somebody go solely on a polygraph test, that could be a big...
See, Carl, Uncle Mike is way with you too. He thinks that that it was somebody jealous. And on that unresolved podcast too, what I just told you guys down here, somebody got in a fight with Brandon the night before at their apartment, and they had only, I don't know if Lisa had been living there a long time or what, and he just moved in with her or what, but they'd only been living together 2 months. So if they just lived in this apartment for 2 months, then, getting in a fight with the new neighbors, that's kind of suspect too. And they've never found this guy. A lot of the unresolved host, I can't remember his name, but a lot of his sources are from newspaper.com. So I need to get that. I've been thinking about getting that anyways. So if I do, we could learn more about cases like this from way back where everything isn't digitized yet. Okay, Aaron, I hope you have a good day. Thank you for coming.
Big case misstep. So I asked Lieutenant Barbaro about this point blank. After all, he said himself, people are often murdered by people they know.
The family believes there was a person of interest who was talked to and was only cleared by a polygraph test, and then that person skipped town. Is that true?
He moved to Washington, I think, and they went and did a polygraph and cleared him, but I wouldn't clear somebody just based on a polygraph.
But was he?
Well, he was cleared by them. Nobody's cleared by us right now.
Cleared by them, you mean Washington authorities?
No, by the detectives that were working on the case.
From YCSO?
From YCSO.
So do you think you guys should retest him and re-question him and re-evaluate everything about him?
Everything's on the table right now.
Lieutenant Barbaro admits that man never should have been cleared. Lisa's family believes to this day the Yavapai County Sheriff's Department botched the investigation.
Would you call it frustration with how it was handled, the investigation, or disappointment or anger?
All the above. Very disappointed from the get-go. I still feel if it was brought to Maricopa County, I think we would have seen some different outcome.
You think
So their case happened in Yavapai County, and the I think Pandora and Evans happened in Maricopa County. And Uncle Mike here, he's saying that he thinks if Maricopa County had taken it, that it would already be solved. So hopefully that's good, and if his trust in Maricopa County is right, hopefully they solve Pandora and Evans soon.
It would have been solved?
I believe so.
Well, you know what's interesting?
As we started shutting down the cameras, turning off the lights, and breaking down our equipment, Lieutenant Barbaro said something unexpected.
Okay, let me pull that report and look at it real quick.
But you'd have to answer it on camera.
Yeah.
Are you okay with that?
He presented a theory he had never talked about before. Another murder that happened near Bumblebee Road, not long after Lisa and Brandon were killed, with a suspect's name we had never heard, Rusty Rankin.
If it hasn't been covered and you guys think it's a possibility, I think it's worth talking about. Okay, perfect.
So we turned the cameras back on.
6 months after this murder, there were two gentlemen camping from Yuma up by Crown King, and they were shot and their pickup truck was stolen.
And what happened from there?
Well, the suspect was actually tracked to Colorado Springs, and when contacted by the police, he barricaded in his room in a hotel room and killed himself.
Do you think these are related?
There's a possibility. It's a similar type of crime. Both the victims were shot multiple times. A vehicle was involved, and it's kind of one of our theories that when Brandon and Lisa were sleeping in the back of the car, somebody drove up or got to the vehicle, opened the door, that turned the bed light on, and stirred them, and that's when the guy shot them, or the suspect shot them. And 6 months later, we have a similar type of crime where two people are shot for their vehicle to be stolen.
Odd?
It's very unusual. It never happens here.
There's no evidence that Rusty Rankin knew Lisa and Brandon, but with their killer still at large, nothing has been ruled out.
We talked to some people they knew, and that's going to be part of the ongoing investigation to see if these are tied together. We submitted his DNA and his fingerprints, and none of those were found at the Rumbaugh Guerreri scene. So, we've tried to do that, but It's just going to have to be one of these things where we tie it together by people.
So there's a plan to re-question the people that knew him?
Yes.
So, yeah, it's been a pretty horrible thing.
It's got to make you angry.
Very much.
Perhaps the worst part of the decades of pain are the words Mike Guerrieri may never get to say to the person who took his niece's life on Bumblebee Road in the dark of night.
What's your message to the killer or people involved?
Honestly, or
Honestly.
step forward and give me 5 minutes. So
I'm with you, Uncle
I'd
Mike.
just like to see their ass rot in jail.
Mm-hmm.
My father had a saying, it is what it is. But I don't think that goes for murder.
I'm journalist Brianna Whitney. True Crime Arizona, the podcast, is hosted by me.
So this was in 2020. And I think that the only other current thing, more current than that, was on the 20-year anniversary, so 2023. And they were talking about submitting more evidence or resubmitting evidence for the DNA, and he said that there's no lack of evidence. They have, he said, maybe 1,000 pieces or more. So hopefully that they're still doing that. And the cold case investigator who was volunteering her and donating her time, she said the one thing that she wanted to test or retest were Brandon's genes. She said that she has seen before that people who rob others, they will turn the victim's pockets inside out to make sure they've stolen every last thing they could after they've already stolen the most precious thing in their lives, but they don't want to miss a dollar in somebody's pockets out loose, so they'll turn their pockets inside out. And she said that's a good place to get DNA. And the sheriff said that that they that they have their, that they have a whole lot they could retest. So hopefully they're doing that, you guys. And yeah, Carl, she was absolutely beautiful. She was. So I think that that's all that I have about these two cases for you guys today. Um, I will post Janelle's missing flyer as soon as I can on my community tab, so we can get her information out. Hopefully we won't have to do a whole live stream about her. Hopefully she's found ASAP. I don't care to. There's a lot of times, you guys, where I'll make a whole live and get all my stuff in order and write all my notes and everything, and then that person is found safe and I throw all of my work away and it does not matter to me whatsoever. That's the best kind of outcome that I can have. Thank you, Van. Thank you so very much. There is the good story that I want to tell you guys about, and then I'll let you go. Did you guys hear about that plane crash in India? That was it was going from India to London, and there was, out of 240 souls on that flight. And you know how they say that in flight terms on airplanes, they say 240 souls aboard. That always hits me, and that's what they said in this case. He was the only survivor, and what the plane crashed into, and it was only up in the air for like a minute, so many seconds to a minute. But when it crashed into a medical hostel where medical students stay. And I think, well, they, in one article I read, it said 270 had passed away. So if there was 240 on the flight that passed away, and then it was 270 altogether, that would mean that that 30 people died when it hit the plane, when the plane hit. Well, we're so glad you could join us, Trista. She says, it was good to be able to be here today. Fabulous job, Mo. You're so good about bringing attention to these cases. Well, that is one of the greatest compliments I've ever heard. Thank you so very much. It really, really is, guys, because that's what means the most to me, to be to bring what awareness I can. And I know my channel is small, but like I always tell you guys, we just need the one right person to see, and we don't know how much ripples we can make in the water. You know, with our one little pebble, we can make huge ripples. You know, so the survivor, he walked away. He didn't even he he didn't even have to be driven away by ambulance or anything. He did have to go to the hospital, and but he walked out of this, and it's an awful crash, you guys. So I wanted to show you guys this video, and I think I have another short one of him giving an interview. So I thought that we could watch that before we go. But the bad part is that he is an Indian national, but he is a citizen of Britain, and he has a wife and one child at home. So he was going back home, and him and his brother had been visiting family, so his brother didn't make it. So that's the bad part, and I hope that he gets help, because I know that he'll have survivor's guilt too.
मरने वाला हूँ, लेकिन जब मेरी आँख खुल के मैं देखा ना तो मुझे लगा मैं जिंदा हूँ.
It does change to English.
This morning, a lone survivor of yesterday's devastating Air India plane crash is speaking out. He managed to walk away from the scene with just a few scratches, and we just learned the black boxes were found. This could help experts as they look into why that 787 crashed. ABC's Lionel Moise has the story.
This morning, miracle in seat 11A is dominating newspaper headlines across the UK, picturing a British man who says he survived the Boeing 787 crash in India.
He probably could use the word miracle of getting that fellow out.
The Air India flight took...
That's what I call this segment at the end. Must be a miracle, because it really, really is. And they're trigger warning, you guys, because it does show the crash. And he was in seat 11A. And I saw something on another article where there was also a lone survivor in another plane crash, and his seat was 11A. How crazy is that?
Off with 242 people on board, fully fueled for what would have been a 9-hour flight to London. The plane was only in the air for 30 seconds, appearing to struggle around 600 feet up, then gliding into a descent before bursting into a ball of flames.
We are going to do a fair and thorough investigation. We are not going to spare anyone. We are not going to leave any stone unturned.
The plane crashed into a densely populated residential area. Part of the plane hit a medical college. The tail, where the crucial black boxes are stored, seen here intact, sticking out of a building. Authorities say several people on the ground were also killed. The man, who appears to be the sole surviving passenger...
Look at him walking away from that, you guys. You guys saw that devastation. It looked like a bomb went off. You know, they said that the plane had enough fuel because it was going to be traveling 9 hours. So that is a lot of fuel. And it is absolutely a miracle that he got out of that and walked away.
Seen limping away minutes after the crash. His family says he called to say he's fine.
When he was on the runway, my dad called him, and Vishwa said, "Oh, we're going to take off soon." And then literally like 2 minutes later, he video called my dad. As he crashed, he said, "Oh, our plane's crashed." All of that. I don't know where my brother is. I don't see any other passengers. I don't know how I'm alive, how I exited the plane.
A medic says the man told him that the plane split in two after impact, throwing him away from the explosion. In the search for answers, analysts point to the plane's landing gear, seen here, staying extended far longer than it normally would after takeoff.
The 787 is an extraordinarily safe airplane, and so to watch it unable to get airborne raises all sorts of questions.
Lionel Moise, ABC News, New York.
I haven't looked at any more newer videos to see exactly what caused the crash, though. so I'm not sure. But there's one more short video that I want to show you guys of him speaking, and then I'll let you guys go. Thank you so very much for hanging out with me today. It's not my regular time, and so I didn't know if you guys would know to look for me. And I had to go live a little bit later today than usual, and then I know that I've had a lot to include today in this live, 2 whole cases, so I appreciate you guys hanging out with me for this long too.
Now, there was one miraculous escape in Thursday's airline tragedy. It was the smallest twist of chance that made all the difference between life and death. The sole survivor of the Air India plane crash said he walked out of a broken emergency exit after the aircraft hit a medical college hostel in Ahmedabad. DD India's Meghna Dev spoke to the UK national of Indian origin, Ramesh Vishwas Kumar.
The lone survivor who miraculously survived this fatal air crash is with us, is undergoing treatment at the civil hospital in Ahmedabad. We did see the video float on social media where he himself, did go to the ambulance. Are you feeling better now?
Yes, better than yesterday.
Obviously. And how is the treatment going on?
Treatment going good. Everything is, yes, good.
What was the situation yesterday? Can you describe for us, please?
I can't explain. Everything happened in my eye. I can't.
How did you manage to escape?
I just...
Did you pull the emergency doors?
No. Emergency door is broken.
Yeah.
My seat is broken.
Yeah.
Then I see the page little bit.
Yeah.
Then I will try to come out.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why.
So, did the aircraft catch fire before you came out?
Yes.
Okay.
Little bit fire. After me, I'm out. Then blast.
Did anybody help you, or you after that you came out on your own? How did you jump from the aircraft?
I'm not jumping.
Okay.
I just walk out. Okay. Then ambulance coming in.
You did walk out on the building, or?
No, in floor.
On the floor.
Yes. Inside the aeroplane.
He has got injuries and bruises on his face. How is the treatment going ahead?
He is having minor injuries only. Some abrasions over his left forearm and swelling over the left eyelid and over the eyes, and chest abdomen is clear, no any long bone fractures present. Patient is vitally stable. We have started the oral feeds and he is tolerating feeds. No complaints of nausea, vomiting or any fever.
Where your family? Where's your family?
Family is in London. Me and my brother staying in India last 8-9 months.
How do you feel that you have survived this kind of?
I can't explain. It's miracle, everything.
Here we have the lone survivor of the attack. Definitely.
So he only had that abrasion on his eye and something small wrong with his arm. So it's an absolute miracle. Absolute. And then I'm going to have to look more into that, where I took a screenshot of it, but it's on my iPad, of the other lone survivor from the same seat. That's crazy too. Okay, I'll let you guys go now. But I want to drop Trista's link. Please check out her channel, you guys, so that you can get so that you'll start getting her community posts daily. She posts on there every single day, and if you want to be inspired or learn new things about the Bible and faith and everything, please subscribe to her or check out her community post every day. There's her channel. And then also Van, we have Van here. You guys, I have some very talented moderators, and they're my friends first. And Van has a wonderful channel too. And if you want to learn something new about nature or animals or plants, that's the place to go. Absolutely. Okay, you guys, I'll let you go now. Thank you so very much for hanging out with me today. And like I always say, don't forget to say your prayers and take your vitamins. And I'll see you next time. Okay, I love y'all.